Hi, I'm Liz Sinclair of Maine Center for the Book. This year, we have selected Maine author Meghan Gilliss's novel, Lungfish, to represent Maine at this year's National Book Festival. Lungfish tells the story of a woman who is grappling through the lies she's been told and the lies that she's told herself to arrive at the truth of who she is and where she must go. It has been described as an exquisitely written, brilliant, and heartbreaking novel about addiction, about doubt, marriage, motherhood, and learning to see in the dark. It takes place on an uninhabited island off the coast of Maine. I am so fortunate to have Meghan here with me. Meghan Gilliss attended the Bennington Writing Seminars and is a fellow of the Huon Oaks Artist Residency. She's worked as a journalist, a bookseller, a librarian, and a hospital worker. And Meghan, we're so glad that you live in Portland, Maine. This is her first novel. Meghan, I'm going to get right to the first question. The National Book Festival's theme this year is Everyone Has a Story. I'm wondering what that theme means to you.
Thank you, Liz. It's such an honor to be speaking with you on this topic and about this book. So everyone has a story, and beyond that, I think everyone's story is interesting if you pay attention. And fiction allows us that extended and really salient look in a space that frees us from the need to judge, or any way that allows us to suspend our judgment for longer than I think sometimes we can with the real humans who walk among us and breathe on us and stand in line in front of us and, shape the policy that impacts us. The circumstances of Lungfish are very specific. And before the book finished itself out, I worried that this was maybe going to be its failing, that it would somehow fail to resonate widely because of its specificity. But in the end, I think it's this specificity that makes any particular person real, and so makes a situation real, and so gives it meaning beyond its own bounds. And what I found is in writing this book is that sort of the more you dig in, the more you also dig out in a way, creating tunnels between story and the world.
Oh, Meghan, thank you. I love the way you're thinking about that theme. Wondering if you could share with us what inspired you to write Lungfish, and why was it important for you to tell this story?
Yeah, so like the narrator of this novel, I had a lot to learn about a situation I had little control over, having to do with motherhood, sort of being coupled suddenly with another life to sustain, and a loved one's addiction. And I think I was stubborn about learning about it through recommended means. And I think I also noticed a richness to the difficulty that I was experiencing. And I really just began trying to encapsulate certain emotional states like disorientation, awe, misguided hope, fury, necessary hope, etc., sort of in these fictionalized scenarios. Someone recently asked me if I ever thought of keeping a journal instead of writing fiction as a way to sort of work my way through this time. And all I could say was no. It really never occurred to me to do so. And I think aside from not having a habit of being a journal keeper, it also just would have been too head on for me. So for me, fiction was this perfect way of exploring and preserving and ultimately controlling, to some extent, a set of experiences, and of sort of working something out. It was compulsive, I think, the writing. It was sort of compulsive behavior. And I do think that's what gives the book some of its urgency, because there were some things that I was sort of needing to figure out as urgently as the narrator of the novel does. Ultimately, it was a book about how to navigate through our blind spots. So now I know that you can just spend half a decade working on a novel about those blind spots. And hopefully as a reader, you can spend less time reading somebody else's novel about those blind spots.
Well, Megan, thank you so much. We are really excited that you are going to be traveling around a little bit and speaking across Maine about the book. And I think so many libraries across the state are reading this book right now. So thank you so much for working with us and for this wonderful first novel. We can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you so much.